Have you ever said to someone, "I'll pray for you," and then forgotten? Or maybe you've promised yourself, "Tomorrow I'll start praying more," but tomorrow never comes. Prayer is often the thing Christians talk about the most, and practice the least. But if there is one person who teaches us the absolute importance of prayer, it is our Lord Jesus Christ himself. Think about it. Jesus, God in the flesh, still made time to pray. If he found prayer essential, how much more do we need it? So today, let's look into the prayer life of Jesus Christ and learn valuable lessons that can transform our own. 1. Prayer is necessary. Luke 6 verse 12. Luke tells us, one of those days Jesus went out to a mountainside to pray, and spent the night praying to God. Jesus was busy. Crowds pressed on him for healing, disciples sought his attention, people demanded miracles. Yet he always carved out time for prayer. He prayed before choosing his 12 disciples. He prayed before great miracles. He prayed in the early morning, Mark 1 verse 35, late at night, and even in the midst of his ministry. No matter how packed our schedule is, prayer is not optional, it is necessary. If Jesus needed prayer, so do we. 2. Prayer demands solitude. Luke 6 verse 12, Mark 1 verse 35. Jesus often withdrew from the crowd to find a quiet place. He unplugged from the noise of the world. Think of Gethsemane. Think of the mountainsides. He stepped away to be alone with his Father. In today's world, solitude is hard. We're surrounded by constant notifications, endless scrolling, and noise. But true prayer often requires us to be still and know that He is God, Psalm 46 verse 10. Find your mountain, a quiet corner, early morning before the house wakes up, or late at night when everything is calm. Meet God there. 3. Prayer can be strenuous. Mark 14 verses 36 to 37, Luke 22 verse 44. In Gethsemane, Jesus prayed with such intensity that his sweat was like drops of blood. He pleaded with the Father, "Abba, Father, everything is possible for you. Take this cup from me. Yet not what I will, but what you will." Prayer is not always easy. It takes persistence, passion, even struggle. Think of Hannah praying for a child, 1 Samuel 1. Think of Jacob wrestling with God all night, Genesis 32 verses 24 to 28. Real prayer may stretch us, cost us tears, or demand perseverance. But God hears the cries of His children. 4. Prayer has a purpose. Reference, John 17, Matthew 9 verses 37 to 38. Jesus prayed with focus. He prayed for His disciples in John 17, "Holy Father, protect them by the power of your name." He prayed for future believers, that all of them may be one. He also urged His followers, "Ask the Lord of the harvest, therefore, to send out workers into His harvest field," Matthew 9 verses 37 to 38. Prayer was never empty words. It was purposeful, intentional, kingdom-focused. Our prayers should be more than just, "Bless me, bless my family." They should be aligned with God's purposes, for His will, His mission, His glory. 5. Prayer is effective. Luke 6. 12 to 13, John 11 verses 41 to 42. After a whole night of prayer in Luke 6, Jesus was ready to choose His disciples, the very men who would turn the world upside down. At Lazarus' tomb in John 11, He prayed, "Father, I thank you that you have heard me." And the dead man walked out alive. James 5 verse 16 reminds us, the prayer of a righteous person is powerful and effective. Prayer works. It changes hearts, situations, and destinies. Not because of us, but because of the one who hears. 6. Jesus, the perfect model of prayer. At every stage of His life, Jesus prayed. At His baptism, Luke 3 verse 21. Before great decisions, Luke 6 verses 12 to 13. In thanksgiving, John 11 verse 41. In deep sorrow, Mark 14 verse 36. On the cross, "Father, forgive them," Luke 23 verse 34, and, into your hands I commit my spirit, Luke 23 verse 46. He never taught something he didn't live. His very life was a prayer. My friend, if Jesus, God's Son, needed prayer, how can we live without it? Prayer is not just a Christian duty. It is our lifeline. It's how we breathe spiritually. It's how we align our hearts with the will of God. So, let us be inspired by Jesus. Make prayer a priority. Seek solitude with God. Pray passionately, even when it's hard. Pray with purpose, aligned with God's kingdom. Believe that prayer is powerful and effective. Remember Paul's words in 1 Thessalonians 5 verse 17, pray without ceasing. And remember Jesus' example, he lived a life of prayer so that we could live in fellowship with the Father. So today, don't just say, I'll pray. Stop. Pray. And watch God move.